All right, Anthony, congratulations on the win. You told me when you accepted this fight that you wanted to, show off a little bit of the stuff you've been working on here in Vegas, and also just kind of like your mindset and how confident you're feeling. Do you feel like you were able to show everything you wanted to show tonight?
Yeah, man. The biggest thing is I got to flex that mind muscle in the first round. I threw that jump round scissors kick. I fell on my back, and he got me with two good punches. Like I felt it, like right to the face, and immediately I could smell the blood. Before it even came out, I'm like, oh, here comes the blood. And then I went face down, just start dripping out that blood, and like that's where you can either freak out and find a way out, or push through it and know like there's a way to win this fight. And I did that, man. I bought myself back present. Usually I would like revert to old fights, and like my mind wouldn't be in that cage. I'd be like thinking about RDA fight or mostly that fight, honestly, the RDA fight, because I was busted up bad in that fight. And like I feel like working with this coach, it like allowed me to let go of that stuff, man, and like bring myself back to like these present moments, and like bringing myself, no matter what's going on, bringing yourself back to that moment that really matters. And that's what I did in the cage, and that's the most impressed I was about myself by doing that stuff.
And this next question kind of ties into all that, is that this is your first win streak since 2014, man. Incredible, like it's crazy
so
to think that you haven't, that it's been that long.
Yeah.
Do you feel that right now?
Yeah, you know what, man, honestly, like I spoke about this on Aerial a little bit. When I won, I was like drinking because of celebration drinkings. If I lose, I was drinking because of sorrow drinking, and like my diet would get, and I'd be like all over the place with like my outside the life. And then when I got to a training camp, I was 100% strict, but what you do outside that camp really matters, inside your camps. And I think I was doing like these forced training camps where, coming off a win, I was coming off like being happy and doing that kind of stuff. And I cleaned that part up in my life, and I'm taking fighting way more serious now, and it feels good to like see the progression, 2 fights in a row for such a long time.
Talk about that wheel kick. Was that something that you kind of saw over the course of the fight that might work, or was that just like kind of like an instinct kind of thing?
Man, honestly, I saw it in his fights before. Alex likes to throw that big check hook. His pressure was going forward on me. I think like that's kind of his counter move. So I was waiting until he stood still, and then I was waiting for like give him some bites to see if he's throwing that check hook. He started throwing it later when he got tired, and I knew like his head would be back, and that's why I did that step spin through hook kick. And man, I landed it flush, bro. I was like right out, like even though it skid his head, like that's how it's supposed to happen. Like just glimpsed the head, and my heel hurts right now from it. And his eyes went back too. Was
there any disappointment that the finish didn't come, or you still?
No, man. You know what? I'm taking these fights 1% better every time. I don't want to go out there and like put so much pressure on myself to do these crazy moves and like get the success that I used to have. Like I got to build it up slowly and be able to face adversity and still get the win. And that's what I did in this fight.
You say you want to go back to 155 next year.
Yeah.
Do you need time to do that, or how soon could we anticipate seeing you back? At 155?
I want to do it right. So I will take some time. Probably I'll fight March again. March. Soonest will be March. I'm gonna take this holiday off, spend some time with my daughter, my fiance, the family, and then start this weight cut down. And I mean, now that I'm with this mindset, it's not like a weight cut no more. It's just a lifestyle change. And when I went to 45, man, it was a weight cut. I was running fasted cardio every day, and I wasn't like living the lifestyle of trying to be a 45er. I was like still doing my thing and cutting the weight to 45. And I always put the work in. It was just this mindset that I just had to like change, man, and get back like into wanting to do this again, honestly.
And just a couple more for you. I'm sure, as you can imagine, a lot of people who are speculating as to where your future is. I mean, can you talk about like just how quickly you're looking to resolve that, and how quickly you're going to be talking to the UFC about your next contract?
I'm gonna take the holidays off, man. Honestly, that was my last fight on my UFC contract. And I don't know what's gonna happen, honestly. Like, I'm kind of open to see what they come back to me at. See, like my little brother's out of the UFC now, and like it's like one of them things, like I'm not attached to anything no more. Like I'm taking these fights one fight at a time. My goal is to be the best version of myself. Obviously, the UFC is where the best guys are at. So I would love to fight in this organization still, but we'll see what happens. Contract negotiations are something that happens outside of my world. I still have an agent that takes care of that.
And what is most important to you at this point in your career? I mean, you've kind of been everywhere at this point. Like you've experienced the highs and the lows. How will you make the decision on where you want to go next?
I just watched that documentary, Macho Time. Hector Camacho Jr. Hector Camacho, and just seeing like his legacy play out, bro. It's like, man, I'm writing my legacy right now, and like I gotta take this part serious. Like, so it's about legacy for me now, man. I've done so much in the sport. WC world champ, UFC world champion, 3 different weight classes, wins in 3 different weight classes. I've done a lot already, man. And I'm only 33, so right now it's about legacy. The rest of these couple years, I'm gonna make sure my goal that I wrote out in my personal is win every round and win every fight. I lost one of those rounds out there, so I gotta make some adjustments and just keep getting better.
Well, congratulations, man. Looking forward to seeing what's next for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.